Stories like this are why we should be careful what we post on social media. Imagine having your life cut short all because someone assumed you were something you weren't, just because of what you posted on the internet. On the 9th of February 2022, a 33-year-old man by the name of Saul Murray posted a picture of two Rolex wristwatches on his Instagram. It's not clear why he posted it, but judging from what he seemed to be posting on his Instagram, he appears to be some kind of lifestyle influencer, seemingly. What is also not clear is if those wristwatches were for sale, but it's possible he might have just been showing off. And for what it's worth, it worked, because those two Rolex wristwatches caught the attention of 35-year-old Suprit Dillon, a young, beautiful woman, who quickly sent a message to Saul, expressing her interest in him. For Suprit, she had just met a nice-looking young man who appears to be rich. And maybe for Saul, his lavish-looking lifestyle on the Instagram has attracted a beautiful woman to his side. It was said they chatted for a while and took their conversation to WhatsApp, where they eventually agreed to meet up and hook up in Saul's apartment. Again, it's not clear what the conversation might have been. Maybe Suprit expressed her interest in money or in the wristwatches or something, but it's not clear. It could also mean that they just found each other attractive and really wanted to spend a night together. Again, still not clear how the conversation went with Suprit and Saul. In their hookup agreement, a third person was introduced. That is, on the day that Suprit and Saul were supposed to meet up and have sex, Suprit came with another girl, 21-year-old Temidayo Awe, who was a student of Coventry University. Clearly, this was a threesome that was about to happen. And it all happened exactly 2 weeks after Suprit had seen the pictures of the Rolex that Saul had posted at the time. So on the 26th of February 2022, this was the day they were supposed to meet and hook up. It was supposed to be a fun night between this young man and these two beautiful ladies. And somewhere close to midnight on this day, that was when it was said Suprit and Temidayo arrived at Saul's apartment. They chatted for a while, had drinks, and it was believed that in one of those drinks, Saul might have been drugged or his drink might have been spiked just to slow him down. Because the truth is, for Suprit and Temidayo, this was not just a hookup. In fact, this was a robbery, a planned, ganged robbery. Eventually, it was said that they had sex with Saul and it was going well until after everything started slowing down for Saul. The effect of his drink being spiked pretty much slowed him down. And after these two ladies were done with him, they went out, opened the door for two other young men to come in. 31-year-old Afia Ikem and 29-year-old Cleo Brown. Clearly, this was all a setup. Suprit had seen the wristwatches and those two wristwatches had attracted her to Saul Murray. And in their conversation trying to get them to hook up, Suprit had already organized with these two boys along with Temidayo to find a way to connive, drug, and rob Saul Murray of his wristwatches, money, and other valuables. After they finished with their hookup and Saul was on his bed already slow, Ikem and Cleo Brown entered. It was said Ikem was with a knife. It's unclear what he needed it for. I mean, Saul was already drugged and it was already slow. They said they entered the apartment, searched everywhere, saw the two Rolex wristwatches eventually, had it stolen, and they also searched for more valuables, but they couldn't see so much because it seemed as though the apartment was brand new and that Saul had recently just rented it. So there wasn't so much for them to steal. And eventually, after stealing what they came to steal, they left. But something happened. Something off happened to Saul, because according to what was said, Saul was seen limping from a CCTV footage where eventually he fell and lost his life from there. But what had happened? How did he lose a lot of blood? Investigation turned out to find out that Saul might have been stabbed on his leg, and that stabbing caused him to bleed. And the only person with the knife was Ikem. I don't know why he even had to do that. I don't know why Ikem felt the need to stab him. It's not as if Saul was fighting back. Well, during investigation, because eventually all four of them were traced and caught, there were CCTV footages everywhere to hold them to the ground. And not only that, those two Rolex wristwatches turned out to be fake. They were not original. So it turned out that Saul wasn't as wealthy as they thought he was. But it seems like that is too bad for Saul, who sources say is also a father of 6 kids. It's not clear if he was married, but obviously he seems to have a different life outside of that of his family. Now, this was how these people were pretty much caught. Through the CCTV footage, they could not see Ikem and Cleo Brown's face. Temidayo and Supre's face were very clear. They were the two girls that came in to stay with Saul. So that was very easy to find them. But for the police to catch Ikem and Cleon, they had to go through what they had on. For Cleon, the car he rented, that was the car he used to bring Ikem to the location where Saul's apartment was, traced. And it was through the vehicle that they were able to trace his location on the day of the incident. As for Ikem, it was a jacket he wore that gave him away. It was a very unique jacket according to investigation. They said only 69 of that particular jacket was sold online, and one of it was delivered to Ikem. He was also seen in another CCTV footage wearing the same jacket hanging out with Cleon. So it was pretty much easy to track them down. They were all eventually arrested and arraigned in court, clearly for the murder of Saul Murray. So this happened in 2022 last year, and the trial lasted for about a year. It's not very clear the details of the trial, but obviously everybody was trying to be held accountable for the role that they played in the death of this young man. Ikem was found guilty of being the one who struck the knife that caused the death of Saul Murray. Cleo Brown was sentenced to 11 years. Supre Dillon was sentenced to 10 years, while Temidayo was sentenced to 7 years. However, it was being said that Temidayo kept insisting on her innocence, that she did not do anything to the man, that she did not know anything that was going on about the wristwatches, and she wasn't so sure about what was happening, claiming that she was just a student. But the thing with Temidayo's situation is, it's possible that she probably did not even know about the wristwatches. Remember, she was not the one chatting with Saul Murray online. It seemed to me that Supre Dillon dragged her into this. She wasn't so sure what was happening. She did not know what was going on. There is that possibility. Remember, she's like 21 years old and she's quite young as compared to Supre, who is in her 30s, seeming to be more experienced. And there are sources claiming, and it was being said, that this form of robbery was done to probably 6 other men. This was not the first time. Saul Murray was not the only victim of Cleon, Ikem, and Supre. It seemed like these 3 were already in a gang where Supre would lure the men, drug them, and steal from them with the help of Ikem and Cleon. Investigation claimed that they had done this to pretty much 6 other different people, even more. It's just unfortunate that Saul Murray was the victim who lost his life in their act. And if that's the case, it's very clear that Temidayo possibly may not have known what was going on. Possibly she may have been blindsided. She may have not been sure or something. A lot of people on the internet are believing that she may have been deceived or dragged into it, and she probably have no knowledge of what these boys were doing or had done. But if you ask me though, I don't believe she did not know. I have a feeling she knew they were going to rob the man. She probably just did not know the man was going to be killed. And I guess that's what she meant. But as far as knowing that this man was going to be robbed, I don't believe Temidayo did not know. She should be smarter than that. She's 21 years old, I'll be 22. She's not dumb. She's not a child. She knew fully well what she was getting into. It just unfortunately went out of hand. And I think the time they gave her, 7 years, is fair. She is serving the least time of all of them. So it's reasonable. Next time, be sure of what you're getting yourself into. If you're there to school, go there to school. But it's really unfortunate. I just feel so much worse for Saul Murray, who maybe this was his lifestyle, post his lavish properties to attract people and just have sex with them. It's harmless, if you ask me. It's not like he is deceiving anyone. He was just posting what he was posting, and somebody thought he was much more than that or had so much money, and they targeted him because of what he posted on his Instagram. It's sad, it's unfortunate. He did not deserve what had happened to him. At the same time, I guess this is what happens a lot when we make a life on social media that is probably different from the life we have in real life. It can attract the worst people. Anyhow, you guys let me know what you think about the story. Let me know your thoughts. And do you think Temidayo did not know what was going on? Or do you think she's just as guilty as everyone else? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and turn on notification buttons so should there be any future video, you'll be the first to get notified. Thank you.